long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, crude matter struggles against the machinations of Sith Lords, Wookiee cultists, but most of all, those rascally, luminous beings. Hi everyone, welcome to Crude Matter. My name's Philip. I am your living force for this game, which is what we call the Game Master, because we're being cute. Joining me are our wonderful players. Live long and prosper players.
Live long and prosper.
Can't do the thing. Live long and prosper.
I got one for you.
Thank you.
Go.
The joke there is funny because that's only from the prequels, and a lot of people don't consider Live Long and Prosper a real part of Star Wars. Like my shirt? It's from Super Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, wow.
That's good. Yeah, I'm into it. I did it because of lightsabers, because that's how we left you all last time. Before I get into our sort of recap of where you found yourselves, I will be reading our little invocation to start things off. There is no question of if the Force is real. I have seen it firsthand and will not debate its existence with the small-minded. Questions about its nature, on the other hand, I am always happy to debate. Brata Danlos, Sage of Duarte.
Now I kind of want to know if you're doing another weird series of parallel quotes with the Luminous Beings game, where it's from a different thing, or if they're all from the same sages. I don't know.
I will tell you that they're all from the sages, but they are selected for specific reasons.
Oh, of course they are. Yes.
Yes. So with that in mind, when last we left the Crude Matter, they were joined at that time, of course, also with their longtime friend, or long time for these 5 sessions they've had so far, Adelard Dunnere. The group, after having had this strange experience of having these specters in their bodies taking over their actions sort of periodically, they learned that the specters had made a deal with a Sith lady named Darth Needle. She charged the group with finding the teacher of an ancient Sith lady named Darth Perverse. The group it was accepted on your behalf by the others, but you managed, upon awakening amidst a space battle, to somehow, with Kyra using all sorts of tricks and force points and luck and things, getting yourselves out of that space battle and landing on the planet of Nathor, where you met Mrs. Got It, because Mrs. Got It's got it. Mrs. Got It made a deal.
Baby, she's got it.
Mrs. Got It of Vulturine made a deal to take 2 of the sort of cannons, 2 of the serious gun turrets off of your vessel, the Rhodian Dexterity. It had 6. And in exchange for that and some credit, she gave you supplies. She gave you 5 droids, all of whom are married to each other. It's a lot. And then some of you, she also gave you some meat to give to some Wookiees and allowed you to sort of rent a speeder. Because you were here looking for a cult that it kind of turned out was some Wookiees who might worship this Darth Perverse even in death on this desolate, sort of strange planet of Nathor. Kyra also, many of you actually kind of got some other, with sort of more personal funds, were looking into some other items, either trying to find ways to procure or and such. I should have mentioned, by the way, Sanguinary, because I was corrected when I spoke to someone yesterday, that the Jaboka of Dunnere is also a flip out. So
okay.
It is 2 Beskar sort of swords that you flip together and can
sort
swing
of
around.
what I also designed on my own.
Well, I mean, it is not an uncommon.
but that's just interesting. That's interesting.
I mean, it's kind of
same instincts.
It's a pretty logical way
Same
to do it,
instincts.
honestly. Exactly. With that, you set out toward these Wookiees in the mountains. These Wookiees who worship this Dark Lady of the Sith. You found them And they were surprisingly wearing, or actually not so surprisingly to everyone, they were wearing dark cloaks. One of them came forward, spoke to you a bit. Sanguinary, you try to explain that you are all two souls in one body. This high priest, as he wished to be called, and actually Kyra wrote down that note on an arm. He's high priest, don't do the Wookiees, pick up dry cleaning, etc., etc. This high priest Wookiee explained that you must receive the kiss of the goddess, which he had done himself, having on his left shoulder, kind of this like burn mark where no fur grew. Basically, you have to be touched with, and then he ignited. A red lightsaber. Sanguinary Doom and Sanguinary Doom and Adelard all melt. Sanguinary, Kyra was like, what? Sanguinary, you received this on your left shoulder. The pain was intense. You didn't pass out. But then, amber filled your eyes. And you all awaken. Still in the glow of a red lightsaber, which I'm not going to keep running because apparently it messes with my audio. But, Kyra, this lightsaber is in your hand. You are extending it out, and you are holding a grease pencil and writing on the arm that holds the saber. Surrounding you is pitch blackness. You see Doom and Sanguinary standing about 5 meters away, 10 meters away. Next to them are 2 floating figures, glowing red from within, who seem oddly but eerily familiar, wearing black robes, their bodies almost doll-like, their forms small. They are luminescent from within, but they look dead, decayed, skeletal, as they sort of hang there. Not only are there these 2 who are about 10 meters from you, next to Doom and Sanguinary, but in the distance surrounding you, you see these other forms beginning to light up, bobbing in the dark. You'll have to make any glances or whatever at this point, but this is what you all find when you come back to your consciousness. So, Kyra, to recap, you're like this.
Okay, what's on my arm?
Excellent question. On your arm, underlined 3 times, it says no more clothes. Below that, you have been in the midst of writing crypt not for you. And you're in the process of writing the glyph for you.
Okay. I'm going to continue to hold the lightsaber.
Okay.
And look around.
Yeah,
All
same.
right.
What I could find.
Kyra, you notice the kind of like the Sanguinary and Doom, you do not see Adelard anywhere. Sanguinary and Doom they are standing between 2 large obelisks, which kind of in the glow of your lightsaber, which is the only source of light for you two as well, aside from these glowing creatures now kind of like hovering over you. These obelisks are about 12 feet tall each. They seem to be carved out of the very stone floor you're standing on. Behind you, as you look back, there is a sarcophagus covered in runes, which you would recognize at least as using the Sith alphabet. The sarcophagus is kind of tilted up, so it's at like a 30-degree angle, so it's not just flat, it's kind of like slightly tilted up. You also notice there is a bit of pain on your right shoulder, and in fact, Sanguinary, you experience it on your right, and left. Doom, you feel it on your right shoulder as well.
Do I have it?
You have it. I mean, it's hard. You can kind of peek, but I guess if you want to like look under your yes, it hasn't damaged the clothing, but under there you do have like a burn, a pretty serious burn on your shoulder.
Can I use my tendrils to like see if anything has changed like since like in the surrounding area?
Yeah, do a tendril roll.
Ooh.
I'm into that.
And do the the floating creatures, do they bear any resemblance to the creatures we saw back on the cathedral ship?
Yes, I would say no roll required. They really do appear to be the same as Melia, the major domo on the cathedral ship, but these, unlike her, don't have this kind of soft blue glow. She almost glowed like a hollow recording. Mm-hmm. These are glowing a fierce red that is almost identical to the red of the lightsaber, and they definitely look to be decayed.
Yeah.
Undead. Doom.
Yeah.
I rolled a 20, which is a hard success.
Hard success. I need you to make a willpower roll.
Ooh, okay. Where
That's
is
under
that?
mental.
Willpower. All right. That's a 9, which is an extreme success.
So Doom. For a moment, you can't believe what your tendrils are telling you. Then you believe it, and you manage to not sort of scream in terror, fall to your knees. The primary sentient species around you appear to be Yalasar, according to your tendril, but your tendril smells nothing but death and decay. The living dead occupy this area. You know that you are in a subterranean area. You're definitely under a mountain. You're probably a couple kilometers below the surface, if not further. And you are surrounded by dead Yalasar. That is the primary species. You do, however, learn a couple of words of Yalian.
And then when I look at the ones closest to us, do they seem like they are like aggressive or like threatening or?
Make a psychology roll.
Wow. Okay. This is gonna come back to bite me at some point because I'm rolling well now, but that's a 17, which is a hard success.
It is very hard. You cannot tell based on their faces because they no longer have the musculature, or whatever rotting skin kind of remains on their strange frames. But based solely on their positioning, their physicality, they appear to be curious and approaching. They appear to almost be drawn to all of you. But they don't seem threatening. They're not moving quickly. They're not taking strategic positions. They're not bearing any weapons or any sort of, preparing to do any harm. But they are going to.
Because I know Sith, can I read what's on the casket?
It is an old version of Sith, but I will let you make a general linguistics roll to see if you can make out any words.
It's an older dialect, but it checks out.
I did not succeed at all whatsoever.
Never mind.
It's
Never mind.
This was a situation of you being like, all right, so it's all in Chinese, and I mean I know a couple of don't know any of this. Also, apparently this is ancient Chinese, so yeah, exactly. But you knew enough to identify what it is.
Wait, so our protocol droid isn't here.
Protocol droid is not here. Sanguinary, actually, why don't you make a? You can either make a sciences general, or you could make a. Yeah, sciences general should be good enough for you,
Okay.
I guess. Or yeah, your track is actually not even that much better.
All right. It's a 95.
95. Well, the good news is it's not a, obviously, it wouldn't even been a thing even if you were under a thing, but you at this moment, you're just, your brain is not putting things together. You're just staring at this undead thing before you.
Okay, well, friends, just sort of quick instinctual calculus here. Given that we're still alive, it would appear that they did not, and almost entirely uninjured, it doesn't appear that they attacked the Wookiees. So I don't think that you killed and claimed that lightsaber, Kyra.
True.
I'm not sure why we have it without any sort of supervision. Perhaps it's part of the journey into their goddess's area.
One of these creatures is getting very close to you, Sanguinary, just drifting. Kind of empty eye sockets.
I'm gonna just keep just slowly back away from it. It's like, and
Okay.
I'm gonna just guess based off of the corresponding glows that these things are tied together. Although it does make sense, right? They are Yalasar, which we know were created based off what Adelard told us. That is the species that was created by Darth Perverse.
As soon as you say Darth Perverse, around you, 6, 7, 8 more of these things begin to glow.
I'm gonna look at Sanguine and go. I don't think they're hostile yet. I'm gonna try and talk to them. And then in what's their like Yala is their language?
Yalian, yes.
Yalian. In Yalian, I'll do hello.
The one closest to you raises a hand in greeting. It's kind of like the wrist is like very limited. Just kind of, and others kind of in the distance all also begin sort of as they all. By this point, there's maybe 15 of them sort of surrounding you. None are really. I shouldn't say surrounding. None are coming from behind the sarcophagus. They're all coming from sort of the sides, out of the darkness.
I'll wave back. I'll say, we search.
We search. Okay.
Lost. And then I'm gonna look at Sanguinary and Kyra and go, I don't know if I'm conjugating these words right. It's like I only get brief parts.
Well, it does. You have confirmed that they're at least somewhat sentient still.
Yeah.
So that's good.
And then I'll go, help?
You receive no further reply. Just kind of. One of them drifts actually a little bit closer. They seem to be really much skirting around the sarcophagus, not kind of coming within 5 meters of it or so, or a couple meters, maybe a little closer than that. But they're skirting around the edge. But one of them is now sort of drifting over to Kyra, kind of with this same like.
I'm going to slowly take a step backwards as it drifts closer to me.
Okay. Sure.
Can I just take stock of equipment and weapons on me? Do I?
You wait.
Because I had taken the rifle last session from Adelard.
You have your rifle.
Mm-hmm.
No, you don't. He would have taken it back. No, it wouldn't, because you took it and he's been having it. No, you're fine. Yep, just kidding. You have the rifle. You also notice in your pocket is a sonar recorder.
That's the other thing I was checking for. And my Jaboka, I assume I have as
On
well.
on your person.
Then I'm going to.
No, I take that back. Actually, I'm so sorry. I always think that you're Jeremy because you guys are the same class. Doom, if you feel in your pockets, you find that there is a sonar recorder.
There's a what?
There is a sound recorder. The sonar recorder is in your
Okay, all right.
Well, what I had said with Eyes Dark, who occupies Adelard, that we don't have Adelard, which concerns me. I'm also processing that maybe Adelard was collateral for taking the lightsaber with us. But in any case, we should listen to see if they've done recordings, since we were trying to organize a way to fill each other in.
I will. I'm gonna turn the volume down a little bit so it doesn't like get too loud in this booming cavern.
Good call.
And then I'm gonna listen to how many new recordings are there?
If you sort of look at dates or like timestamps of things, there would only be 2 more. Since first Adelard did an incredibly lengthy one as he explained everything of Darth Perverse, and then Sanguinary did a shorter one explaining to them that they were on their way here. both are listened to. There are now 2 more recordings.
All right, well, I'll start playing the first one.
All right, the first one is from Boz. It says, "It seems like this cult you've dropped us in worships Darth Perverse." You hear Lyala's voice. So basically, you hear your own voice with a weird accent, saying that they've dropped. But what's really fun is it just said the word Darth Perverse. You did say that you were turning down the volume, so I'm gonna just roll I roll a 9 on the listen. So yes, sure enough, more of these things pop up in the distance, having heard that name as they begin moving in. You then hear Lyala on the voice, or Kyra's voice, with its sort of weird twang, saying, "They want y'all's consent," and basically your voice saying, "Yes, before they do any rituals on us." And then it shuts off.
I'm going to turn the volume down a little bit more and then play the second.
Just for only you to kind of hear it. You play the next one. It's your voice again with the accent. Like, so basically, to see if we consent to any rituals that they want us to do to give us our bodies back. And then after a few moments, you hear a Wookiee grunting. Lyala very kind of just crassly being like, "What?" You hear Mrs. 3 explaining, "His Grace the High Priest wants you to know he cannot actually practice the magic of his goddess." Then your voice goes, "Oh, never mind. They don't know how to do the mumbo jumbo. If they did, do you want us to look into?" Shuts off.
Well, none of us can wield the Force.
I'll look at everyone else and go. So I think they it seemed like they came down here in search of information, is what my assumption would be based on what I heard on the recorder. I'm gonna just click on the recorder, go, "Thanks, those are really helpful messages," and then unclick it.
I'm going to say that is correct. I'm probably being a little bit ungenerous to how they did, but they legit were like, it was absurd. I'll say that you will glean from what they were. You'll probably have gleaned slightly that there was something about the idea of coming down here is dangerous. They didn't want to let you come down unless you all consented, but then they were clearly misunderstanding what was going on. So they stopped and never recorded anything after that.
Okay. So seeing as they have nothing to offer us in terms of information, we are here. We are before a sarcophagus. Now we are searching for the master of Darth.
Don't say the name. Don't say the name.
Yeah, you actually see a few of them like lead in, like
of this Sith Lord. Should we not confirm that their remains are here?
Yeah. I guess. I'll go take a look in the sarcophagus.
I'll come with you.
Well, we're right in front of it, right?
Have fun, guys. Have fun.
So Kyra's backing
I'm
away
gonna
at this
stand
point.
here.
Well, you were the closest. They would now be walking sort of toward it.
Oh.
So, just you can keep your distance, but maybe just keep the. We'll need the light from the lightsaber.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You actually all smell burning cloth, and there's like a flickering darkness, and you see that some of these things are like a few of these kind of on the outstretched saber are actually like clustering around it. Their robes getting burned as they get a little too close, kind of trying to like.
They're getting affected by the lightsaber.
They're being cut by the lightsaber. Yes.
Okay.
These are not
Cool.
you. I'll say you with your tendrils. Just you would have understood this. These are not ghosts. They're
corporeal and
corporeal things that are floating here in an insane, terrifying way.
Do I have my guns on me?
You do.
And weapons. What
Yes. You all have all whatever normal weaponry.
All right. I will take out my jaboka, and it's sort of like folded down bit, and I'll sort of put it in between the lid of the sarcophagus.
As if you are making contact with the sarcophagus, these creatures begin to swarm around you.
Yeah, this is something I was maybe worried about.
And
like
they are
that.
going to go ahead and make. They're not really attacking you, but I do, and they're not very strong at all. But you have a Zabok out, so you can try to block them if you wanted, or you can simply try to dodge. But they are trying to basically like grapple you away, so you could sort of grapple them back, or you could dodge or block with a Zabok.
I'll just
Jabako, whichever.
Given that they haven't been too aggressive, I'll just try to dodge out of the way.
Okay, cool. So just that would be actually
wait,
actually,
I
that's
have-
pretty good.
Oh, I was very excited for a second. 80. So it is a success.
A
But I
success.
know
So
that
actually, a couple of them with a hard success do manage, like before you've even gotten your jaboka into like the ledge of this thing, they are pulling you back, and their hands are like rotten. You feel like dead bone animated by who knows what, and they're physically restrained. You are restrained at this point, Sanguinary. They're like one of them actually even grips just the blades of your sort of like makeshift jaboka, and kind of like a couple of fingers are just sort of severed, and they sort of don't seem to care as they're still just tugging on it. So you are not in control of the weapon. You cannot move. You've been sort of pulled back maybe a quarter of a meter, half a meter from there.
I would like to walk closer to the coffin and see if they back away since I have the lightsaber.
If you approach the coffin with a saber, they do not back away from Sanguinary. In fact, it seems like what they have sort of done is sort of slightly pulled Sanguinary out of the halo around the sarcophagus. They are unwilling to go in. They do not appear to be frightened of your lightsaber at all. I'll say it with this there's a pretty clear, now that so many of them are so close, they're all giving they're basically giving the sarcophagus like a 1-2 meter halo.
And they're trying to prevent us from going inside that radius as well.
As they specifically moved when Sanguinary started messing with it. When he moved to open it, they were. And Sanguinary, they're like touching you. It's rough. They're on you at this point. It no longer feels non-menacing. They have not attacked. They're not like striking you, but they're just.
It's the bug scene in Temple of Doom. It's not aggressive, but it's very, very unpleasant. Yeah, I will sort of steel myself. Well, it appears they don't want us to do that. But maybe you, Kyra.
Me? Okay. I'm gonna walk over and try to just kind of touch the coffin. Just touch it.
You touch the sarcophagus.
Mm-hmm.
Your hand is on it for about a moment. You hear it bump from within.
Oh. That's different. But did they try to pull me away at all?
They didn't try to pull you away, but Doom and Sanguinary, you did not hear anything. Did you pull your hand back, Kyra?
Yeah.
You saw Kyra pull her hand away, and you heard or saw no cause for such a thing.
Is it hot or something?
You didn't hear that?
You know
There
what?
is something inside of here.
Well, that's sort of what we're hoping for.
No, I mean, it's alive. Whatever is in here. It is not a dead Sith.
Well, that may be even better news, right? We're sort of trying to find someone who has found the secret to immortality. Okay. This is kind of a lot.
Like little fingers are tracing up towards your
Just
mouth. Like dead. They're like little doll hands. Again, the Yalasar look like the ghost of Christmas past from A Muppet Christmas Carol, and Dan, I'll find a reference for you.
Yeah, thank you. I've never seen it. Thank you very much.
I apologize.
I'm going to slowly place my hand on it again.
Okay. I have to roll. This is a big roll. Hold on.
She doesn't. I'm trying to listen, see if I hear anything.
That's really high. Don't do anything. All right. So, Kyra, go ahead and make your listen roll to roll.
Oh.
And Kyra.
Mm-hmm.
25, which is a hard success.
Hard success. I'll tell you what you might hear in a moment. Kyra, your hand is against the sarcophagus. And suddenly you feel, as if rising out of it, a cold hand pressing against yours. Almost pressing in and through your hand. And you can can see this spectral hand rising from out of the sarcophagus, contacting yours.
I'm going to leave my hand there and just say hello.
Excellent. In Sith, in response, you hear a voice say, and Doom, you hear this as well. Very quiet, but to you not so quiet, but Doom, you do hear it kind of like on the edges. Sanguinary, you're busy with the other stuff.
I got a lot going on.
You got another. There's a different energy for you right now. But a voice says, "Who disturbs my rest?"
I'm so sorry. It's just we're trying to find help. Are you who I'm looking for?
If you're looking for help, I'm sure I am not.
I'm looking for someone who has knowledge of immortality.
A face begins to emerge from the top of the sarcophagus. This sort of ghostly, immaterial face. I actually need Kyra as you're looking at Doom, since you're hearing Sanguinary. You probably should be rolling something because the undead are grappling at you. Let's just say this is a group willpower roll. Everyone has the terror of this as this ghost is coming out of this thing. This is a ghost.
Oh, I am re-rolling that.
Okay.
I should have.
So
I should have for a nice acoustic
well,
set, and
Kyra.
I should have for a nice
Willpower,
acoustic set.
ooh.
And I am in a mosh pit now, and I'm not enjoying it.
Yeah.
Where is my willpower? Mental?
It's under mental, yes.
Okay.
77, which is a success.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And everybody gets 8 luck points on top of that.
How much does it cost to re-roll?
It costs 1 force point to re-roll.
Oh.
However, what did you unless you rolled a fumble, in which case there's no re-roll.
I rolled an 87.
Okay.
And my willpower is 70, so it's not.
Yeah, go ahead. I'd re-roll that then. Yeah.
Okay, 54.
54, but you did get 8 more. Add 8 to your total luck points, or your luck score, which is a nice a benefit of the Sanguinary. So you and Sanguinary have succeeded. Doom, you've also succeeded. Is that correct with your?
Yeah. My force point took it from an 89 to an 8.
Well,
So it's a good success.
would have taken it to a 9, right? Because you don't re-roll the ones.
Oh yeah.
So you an 80-point swing though is it's good. It's
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. I did take it to a 9. You re-roll the whole thing. Don't listen to me. I don't know the rules of this game.
I'm not rolling with advantage. Yeah. I was like, sure, okay, if that's how you want to do it now.
It's not. It's so not. Apologies. It's been a long weekend, everyone, and now it's Monday. In any event, you all managed to not scream as a ghost begins rising up. But Sanguinary, these things, there's like a tightening of all these little dead hands on your skin, your limbs, a sort of a clasping in some response to something, and then they all let go and move back. And as you glance around, you see that a translucent form is rising out of the sarcophagus. Doom.
I am going to just reach in my pocket and click on the recorder.
Oh, brilliant.
I'm gonna sort of fold up my Javoka and tuck it back. And I'm gonna kneel. I'm gonna like kneel down on one
Okay.
leg.
Sanguinary kneels.
Is my hand still on the coffin? I'm in shock just staring at her.
Yeah, you're just staring at her, so she kind of rises up. Doom, you slip that on. Okay, so that's kind of what everyone's done for this moment. She sort of looks at all of you. The spirit seems definitely female. You see these two almost like vestigial sort of horns on the head, but they are not full horns. These kind of like stumps almost. You can't really tell much of what she looked like. It's a very immaterial, sort of swirling appearance. But as she sort of rises, she looks down at you and says, "You
Can we understand that? Can all of us understand that, or just Kyra?
Actually, just Kyra at that point.
Okay.
Not necessarily the secret, but we do seem to have someone else occupying our body who's lived for much longer than we have.
She looks down at you. Rolls a 12. That's good enough for her. This ghostly form sort of smiles and then says, "Yes, room for one more."
Absolutely not.
She rushes toward you, Kyra. You can make a dodge roll to try to leap out of the way if you
I'm
need.
going to die.
All right.
Woohoo! Success.
Okay. Well, what degree of success?
So it's 99. I got a 31.
All right, so that is
So,
hard success.
Hard
so that's good.
success.
And also a hard success. I mean, yeah, I think you are. You have a 99, so that's good. You were, unless you fumbled, you were in no danger of like dropping a lightsaber and cutting off a Leku or something. But you sort of jump back, and as she sort of swirls to a hard success, she goes to where you were, and kind of just this ghostly form looks over, and then spins to the one who's already crouched and prone, kind of like in a position. Sanguinary, this form rushes towards you. What would you like to do?
I'll attempt to dodge.
Okay. I'm gonna give you one penalty on this since you are like in like a you're kneeling.
Okay, so that'll be normal for me, right? 'Cause I have
Straight for you
bonus.
unless you want to roll any other stuff. Yeah.
Dodge 16, which is exactly what I need for a not vital.
Extreme.
What's
It's a fifth.
extreme?
A fifth score. Yeah. So you managed to also duck out of the way. The spirit kind of occupying the space where you were. As she's moving, you notice, Kyra, as you're sort of spinning around, the halo that had been forming around the sarcophagus is now forming around this ghost, almost reacting. So there's this kind of like moving pattern of these floating red creatures giving her space. Not so much the sarcophagus any longer. Doom, she espies you and begins moving in your direction.
What the heck is my? Where is dodge? It's combat. Yeah, I'll try dodging.
Okay. It's good because in a dodge, like in case of a tie for a dodge, it goes to you. Like Kyra, she also rolled a hard success, but because you were dodging, it goes to you.
I will be using a force point to re-roll that because that was a failure.
Sounds good.
Wise.
I'm going to spend 5 luck to make that a success.
A normal success.
Yes.
The good news for you is she only rolled a normal success herself. So as you sort of also just managed to duck out of the way, this ghost kind of like occupying the space where you once were, sort of pauses and then sort of stands and just kind of laughs. I suppose
Sorry.
it might be a bit crowded in any case. Still.
I mean, we'd like to. Can we bargain with you at least? Like, come on, buy
She
a
sort
guy.
of turns to you and hears you speaking basic, and she'll say, "You are not Sith. That is what feels so wrong.
Oh no, not at all.
And whatever is in you is not Sith either."
No, it's not.
We have been sent by Sith, but we are not Sith.
She kind of just swirls around. Who will she go to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Kyra, she once again kind of swirls back to you. She's
Don't
now
even
the
try it again, lady.
Dark lady. They often
I'm
call
sorry.
me. Back when I cared for such things. She's kind of raising her hand.
Dark Lady, they sent us to find your master.
Ah, my teacher. want to find my teacher.
Yes, that's who we're looking for.
Why?
We believe she may be able to get the second souls inside of us out.
Trivially, this is easily within her ability to do.
I mean, I'm assuming that like the Sith that sent us here have some ulterior motive that they're not telling us about because that's how Sith work.
I'm spending a force point to reroll something for her. You know what? I'm spending 2 of her force points. She doesn't refresh them the same way you guys do. But I'm spending 2 of these to I'm giving her a bonus on this. Because I just want it to happen, but it still has to be up to the dice. Yes.
Depending on how this goes, folks, I might have a real bad idea.
I roll a 90 and a 60. She doesn't realize. Son of a gun. Alright, it's fine. That's how it goes. My teacher will be curious. Yes.
Is that curious enough to help?
Curious enough to teach.
Where can we find her?
I found her on Cheelit.
Cheelit. Does that name
We
mean
know that.
anything?
Culture rolls for all 3 of you can do a culture roll on old Cheelit.
God damn, I'm gonna use one luck
Yes.
to make that a success.
I succeeded.
A Cheelit.
77 failure though. I'll take that failure.
Wonderful. You know of a planet called Cheelit. It is in the, golly. Did anybody have a hard success on that for their culture?
No.
Missed it by 4 points.
Oh man, if only we had just a scholar that was so
A scholar who was
all of this
literally
knowledge.
talking to the person who's the source of... I almost feel bad that he's not here for this.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't... What am I saying almost? I genuinely feel bad he's not here for this.
Yeah.
Cheelit is in I-16, so it's... Cheelit is actually in the mid-rim. So it's kind of a ways
really?
back. It's more in the Republic space. None of you know anything about it, but you've seen it on maps. It is in the Samagi sector, in the Syrian Reach.
So would that be the first place you would recommend to look? I mean, I don't know how much time is like, you know, people have a habit of like going places over time.
I mean,
The Spectre says, if you deserve the knowledge, you will be able to find her. But I've not been there for a long time. Have I?
no, it seems like it's been many thousands of years since you were alive.
1,000. Wonderful. Then it is time. Those who worship me above, they haven't grasped it, but you will. You will. Suddenly you hear the sound of scraping stone as the lid of the sarcophagus kind of slides apart in the center. She kind of comes around your backs, See there, my amulet. And you see, within the sarcophagus, dressed in some kind of armor, is a not very well preserved. I mean, it's basically like a mummified corpse. So you can't really see much of who she is to be. But she's wearing this armor and she has this amulet around her neck. Take this, if they'll let you. Lead them, if you wish. I've taught them possibility, but all they understand she says nothing else.
I'm gonna walk over and have the lightsaber and reach to grab the inlet.
So did she say lead them or leave them?
Lead them if you wish.
Okay. Right.
But she kind of is indicating there may
Yeah,
not be
doesn't
purpose
hurt.
in that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get that amulet, especially because it's shiny.
The amulet is in fact very shiny, and unlike her, the amulet does not appear, though there are some like spider webs and dust on it, it seems to still be shining, even in your sort of glow. It's all you can tell. It just looks red right now as you sort of reach down for it. When you put your hand on it, suddenly, and I'm not going to do this tonight because my throat's a little raw. In all directions, you hear this horrifying, high-pitched, whistling wail as all of those undead Yalasar, their throats no longer possessed of vocal cords, begin attempting to scream. The glow from them is brighter as you put your hand on this amulet.
I'm still gonna take it.
You pull it off. The Sith Lord kind of looks at all of you. What has become of my children, the Yalasar? She gestures to all of these things, and they're still like screaming at top speed, almost ear splitting.
Oh, they're not looking too good.
Well, we have met some other beings that are alive outside of this system.
Are they still
But I do-
free as the Jedi wished? And Adelard actually, somebody can make
did.
just like a
He did say something about this.
he did say something. So make a miscellany roll to see how well you remembered what he said.
I'll attempt that
Anyone
as well.
can do that. Although Kyrie, you're probably preoccupied with this rad-looking amulet.
It's glorious.
Failure.
Fail.
Yeah, same fail.
Can't remember
somebody-
what he said.
Uncertain, although the ones that we have encountered seem to be free, though in service to another. But didn't feel like an enslavement.
Curious.
Can I ask the Great Lady to make the creatures around us stop screaming?
You don't want to hear their sounds of joy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misinterpreted that. I didn't realize it was joy.
Would you rather they be in miserable silence again? So be it. And then she kind of just gestures, and suddenly all of the lights around you go out, and you hear thudding and clattering of bones and bodies.
What did I do?
Oh, honestly, that seems better to me.
Yeah.
You weren't violated by them. So, could I, Kyra and Doom, could I have a moment with you two? Very
Yeah.
very quickly. So as
She
As quietly-
does not seem to be like she's just like staring over you all,
That's
like
fine.
like kind of staying somewhat closest to Kyra.
That's fine. I just need to at least try to propose this to them before I offer it. So I'll lower my voice a bit, an attempt to be surreptitious. If she hears, she hears. But so, how do you all feel about proposing her riding in that amulet to possess Lady Needle later? So that
You
we
mean
have.
keeping the creepy ghost thing with us?
Yes.
I am for that. I think that's a great idea. I was actually thinking along similar lines.
It just might be able to have having a Sith on our side that will challenge another Sith. Seems like one of the only safe options we could take.
Yeah.
But what if I wanted to keep the amulet?
Well, once she leaves it, the amulet will be meaningless to her, right?
True. Okay. I'm for this plan.
Dark Lady, I am not. It seems that you wish to have a new vessel for your soul. We are not Force practitioners by any stretch, but we will be returning with the knowledge we gain from your teacher to a Dark Lord.
Why?
The hope is that that Dark Lord will help us decipher the knowledge.
If you
But-
go to my teacher, you will have the knowledge you need.
But we are uncertain we will be able to perform these rituals ourselves.
In the dark side, all things are possible.
Okay.
We're still not able to wield the Force. That's the problem we're having. Do you think we might be able to somehow perform these things without the Force at all?
Put on my amulet.
I'm good. Anyone else want to try?
I will take the amulet from you. I'll hold it. I'm not putting it on yet.
I'll try putting it on.
Jim will put it on.
If I'm like okay, I'm willing to be a guinea pig here. Like I want to put my neck on the line for you two because like we've been through a lot and this is, you know, like we're going through this shared like thing, this like kind of like weird like I don't know if I call it trauma bonding or not, but like we have this shared experience, right? That experience is bringing us closer together and we're getting close to feeling like some kind of weird dysfunctional family.
Well, Doom,
Sure.
before you put it on, let me just finish my proposal.
Yeah.
But I will not stop you from putting it on in a moment. But if we indeed have to return to this Dark Lord who will be hunting us if we do not return with this knowledge, we are not capable of resisting her. But someone of your power should easily be able to claim her body for yourself. And
Why would I want her body?
I'm only basing this off of the fact that you tried to invade our own bodies. I was just assuming you wanted a new vessel and new life.
Life is overrated. Your vessels are not interesting to me as a means of conveyance, but as a way to study technique. Put on the amulet, and you'll know. You'll know.
I'll hand the amulet to Doom.
I'll just say, look, like, I'm glad that I have the opportunity to take this risk for the two of you. And maybe Adelard, whoever he is. And then I'm gonna take the recorder out of my, I'm gonna take this thing out of my pocket and kind of trying to just kind of like, I'm trying to keep my hand over it. Like, so it's kind of hard to tell what it is while I hand it to Sanguinary.
Oh, okay.
Sure. The recorder? I'll take the recorder, sure. Seeing that it's running, I'm going to turn it off.
Oh no.
And then I'm going to put on the amulet.
All right. Anyone who's ever read a Tales of the Jedi comic knows this is always a very good idea. Duke,
Yeah.
Toronto. Sanguinary switches off the recorder. Interesting. Doom. You put the amulet on, and as you do so, you feel these sort of metal components of it almost come to life and stab into your flesh.
Okay, all right.
Wrapping sort of around the neck, the chain almost with a life of its own. You hear this dark lady specter laugh for a few moments. Doom, I need you to make a couple of rolls. First, please make a willpower roll. Actually, you know what? Yeah, let's just do that first. What is your willpower score?
Can we roll that?
Okay. What is your willpower?
It's
50?
50. I rolled a 65, yeah.
Okay. Oh no. Oh, this is great.
That's a 79. I'm gonna use. Can I use another force point to please re-roll that?
Sure.
Should have put this on. I should have done this.
I did 28. I'm gonna use 3. I'm gonna use 18 luck points to make that an extreme success.
Oh, speaking of, Philip, I did roll 77. Did we get another boost of luck or not? I didn't know if it happens once a session or if we get it every time a
No,
session.
anytime somebody rolls a 77, 9 more points to all of you. So that makes that hurt a little less if you're spending 18 to get to an extreme, which I'm going to go ahead and say was the thing you needed. So Doom, as you just with a little bit of luck and your own will of the Force, you manage to resist this it feels like something is trying to bore into your mind. It's incredibly painful, but you manage to resist. You manage to resist the pull. So if you look, Dan, at past vehicle talents, there is a large column called Force Talents.
Yeah.
You now have those scores in all of those abilities.
Cool.
As you are sort of opened to this strange thing. In addition, please set your dark side track to 1.
Excellent.
Okay.
Man, I should put this on.
Are there any other rolls you need me to make? 'Cause you said there were multiple rolls.
Please make an endurance roll.
Okay, that's gonna be a little easier to hit. And I literally rolled an 89 exactly.
An 89, that's what you have. It's a normal success.
Yeah.
All right, so you sort of don't pass out from the pain. You sort of don't suffer any. The pain of this thing digging into you is intense, and you're sort of gritting your teeth, but you're sort of focused on your brain, and now that blood is just kind of running down sort of your chest, although it's hard to tell in the glow of that sweet light. This whole game, there's been a live lightsaber, by the way, this whole session.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. You sort of double over with this intense sort of pain. The last roll I need you to actually make, though, is would you please make a search your feelings roll? That is from your new column.
Whatever this roll is, I know the result to be true. That's a 50. That's a failure.
You feel an intensity surrounding you, but you can't parse it, and you kind of drop to your knees, sort of panting. You hear the ghost say, "Impressive," but you no longer see her.
Wait. Ugh.
Yeah, how do you feel?
Ow. Oh my god, that hurt a lot. But I'm okay. I think I'm okay. Ugh. Like I said,
Where did Dark Lady go?
I look up.
You guys can make a look roll.
Shit.
Sure.
I'm gonna make a look roll.
There's a nice that's a hard success for me.
Just regular success for me.
Look, roll, hard success.
You see nothing. Your vision only extends as far as the glow of this red saber. You see those black cloaks with small sort of, small little lumps inside them at various points. Just again.
Can I tell that I have these something weird is going on? How aware am I of what I can do now?
With the search your feelings you made, not so aware. Not yet.
Okay.
Okay, well, given that the ghost has done what ghosts tend to do, which is I would say possess us, but also disappear. Perhaps I think we should get the Criff out of here.
I agree. Yeah,
Since we have a planet to go to,
Yeah.
let's go to that planet and get away from these groping undead and Sith ghost.
Yeah, I agree with that plan.
Is it evident how to get out of here? Can I like look around? And look?
Can I make a tracking or navigate or like a navigation roll, terrestrial, to find our way out of here?
Doom, as you look around, I mean, your vision is limited. Like you can't even see the ceiling. You think you're in a cavern, but you seem to be very, very like deep and dark. Sanguinary. In this case, I will say it is actually going to be two different things. So, which of the following would you prefer? If you make a navigate terrestrial, what you are doing is you are basically determining the most logical path back. If you make a track, you are going to be trying to look at the tracks that you guys made coming here.
That's more of, I think, my strong suit is that one.
Okay, sure. You can make a track. You will need a better degree of success to track because this is solid stone.
Sure. Let's re-roll that.
Alright. So burning through some force points today, gang.
Okay. So that's a 30, so that's a hard success.
A hard success. It takes a while. You sort of make a few wrong turns. You even sort of like walk into like a wall at one point, you know, kind of with the glow is in an odd situation. But you eventually find some like pretty clear scree from rocks that are sort of like matching some of the sort of like, it's hard to tell all just in red, but matching some stuff you see on your own shoe. It's very interesting to track yourself when you look at your shoe and say, okay, so I should look at rocks, you know, but it takes a minute even with the hard success, but you are successful. As you cut your way through, in the far distance, you see a very minimal blue glow. Probably 100 meters ahead. Very soft little point of blue glow in the distance.
I think that's some daylight up ahead.
All right. Well,
Sanguinary,
I'll begin.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
As you're sort of moving through, you have a rather distinct feeling, given the goodness of your tracking, that you've seen some other tracks as well. Other signs of something in this space.
Do they look humanoid? Or bipedal?
Make a science roll.
73, which I believe is exactly a success.
The 73, as you sort of look around, these do not appear to be humanoid. There is some cave creature who moves here, some presumably a predator.
All right. Once again, I believe we should expedite our path out of here. There appears to also be a predator that dwells in these caves. Can I make a smell roll to see if I can either smell either this creature or like fresh air, since we've been surrounded by rotting stuff?
You may make a smell roll, actually. I think that's great.
take a good old whiff of that.
You're very good at smelling things.
Oh wait, I get to roll.
And you have a bonus on it, indeed.
Okay, that's much better. 53. Actually, tell you what, I'll go ahead and spend 4 luck points to make that a hard success.
A hard success. I'm going to say that because you're smelling, it's a much harder thing to mask. You do catch wind of something that smells scaly, slimy, and something that is doing a very good job of trying to sort of stay what minimal air currents there are down here in this cave, trying to stay sort of downwind of you. But it's near. Kind of as you went back, you sort of like, you basically like doubled back slightly and caught a whiff of it. And
Sure.
And you think there is something very close to you.
We should go. We should go. It's close.
All right. Well, then let's run.
All right.
Run.
In that case, as you all run, would you all make a run roll? As you all start.
Yay.
Kyra, you are carrying a lightsaber.
It's a basic success, but I succeeded.
You roll a success, okay? Because
Yes.
you are really good at running, right?
I'm really good at running.
Okay.
I'm using my last force point to reroll that.
I'm also going to reroll my force
Okay.
with a force point.
Oh, that's a success.
Okay.
That is an 8. So that is exactly an extreme success.
All right. So, the good news for you, because running is often a good plan. You had an extreme. Kyra had a basic. Doom, you had a
Regular, yeah.
basic as well. All right. This thing would have to roll to even get any of you as a thing. It does not. So basically, you do feel this massive shape kind of like charges up, sort of like to the area where you were pounces. You hear gnashing jaws and kind of the slap of strange. You don't know if they're webbed, appendages or clawed. What you just hear kind of everything in this kind of inhuman howl. You glance back and you do see the shine of an eye or some scales. But you guys are all running pretty seriously, and it wasn't able to sort of get to any of you quickly enough. This minor action sequence was really just a running sequence. So as you guys are all sort of running from it, it is following. But as of now, you're all ahead of it. So is there anything else you'd like to do?
Just as a precaution, as I'm running, I'm just going to grab my
Jaboka?
my jaboka off and just sort of have it and continue to run with it.
Okay, so running with this sort of thing. Fortunately for you, you are quite proficient with these, sort of as a matter of pride, and so you're able to do that without any possible damage. Is anyone doing anything other than continuing their run?
What sort of ability would I need to use in order to defend myself with a lightsaber?
Well, it's interesting. You don't know how to use a lightsaber, which means because they're so you can hold it and not murder yourself. Strictly speaking, they are a melee weapon one-handed general, or a melee weapon two-handed general if you're swinging with two. But lightsabers do put some, shall we say, some penalties on people a little more regularly than other weapons might. Like, you trying to swing one while running is going to be a little bit more of a penalty than you trying to, hit a stationary target with one or something.
Okay. Do I still have my blaster?
If you're sort of running, lightsaber in hand, you feel that, yes, you still have your holdout blaster.
Okay, I'm gonna keep running.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd rather focus on running, but what order are we in right now? Like, who's closest, who's farthest away?
I think I'm kind of. You guys can be in whatever order you want, or you're just all sort of running,
Like, if it's chasing us, I want to if it's chasing us, then I want to as we're running, unclip one of my stun grenades and just kind of roll it back behind me. So I'm not trying to throw it. I'm just trying to roll it back.
In that case, do you know what that is?
What is that? That's
a luck roll.
Oh, that's good.
Let's see if you get lucky. You're just gonna do it. Hope he runs over that. It is just make a luck roll.
That's a 95.
What's your luck score?
It's 48.
Here's my problem. It's not a fumble unless it's a 96.
Okay, so I just missed that.
If it was a 96, you would have just stunned all of you, and it would have been the coolest thing. But instead, you just kind of fumble it, and it jumps it rolls aside and doesn't really do it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
That would have been the end of us.
All right. Not a great. All right. Well, I'm just gonna keep running despite that.
Fair enough. In that case, let's just get runs. Since it's basically a run, you guys have pulled out weapons in case it gets to that, but let's get run rolls from everybody else. I'm not going to penalize anyone for for the whatever stuff, but...
Barely succeeded.
Are you getting your bad rolls now, Dan?
Yeah,
You're so good.
I'm gonna spend 29 luck points to make this a success.
Oof. That's a 6, so I believe that's another extreme. It's not a vital, right?
What's your score
It's-
run?
40.
So, 40?
Yeah.
You would need a 2 to be a vital.
Two.
A vital is a 20th.
Okay. A 20th. Got it.
Yeah.
But it's an extreme.
It's an extreme. Kyra, what do you
How
got?
much score is that?
Barely succeeded.
Barely succeeded. So Doom, you barely succeeded as well?
Yeah, do you see what my current luck score is?
I don't, but let me look and laugh. And you have how many force points?
None.
Cool. And you're wearing a what kind of amulet?
Yeah.
Great. Cool. Tight. Cool. So as you guys run, this creature will make one last springing attempt to get one of these stragglers. Sanguinary, you've basically left them behind, which is a little dangerous because now you're kind of running like from one pool of darkness to a pinpoint of darkness. So surrounding you is like pitch black, but you are sort of just instinctively, kind of like hopping over rocks and such. But I roll an 84, and we'll never have combat in this game, as this cave beast kind of like tries to snatch its jaws around.
What do you mean, Philip? You have the entire existence of these two games is two groups combating each other.
It's a different kind of combat. I do know that. I will say just for the flavor of it, evens Doom on Kyra. And even so, basically, Doom, you feel like jaws close. As you try your thing with a stun grenade, and then you're like running and stumbling, and like basically the luck is how you. It's not even the running at this point; it's the jaws close. Just like as you trip, jaws close where you would be, and you're just like scrambling sort of forward. Kyra a little ahead of you. You guys approach this sort of pool of this blue light being cast. And you see there is a Wookiee there, one you vaguely maybe saw from up top. She's carrying like a staff that has this hanging box on it. There's this blue glow. Standing next to her is Mrs. 3, who now you can probably tell as you're running, Sanguinary is in the back of your head. You're like, I get it. This droid couldn't have walked over all this. And on the other side of her is the High Priest, who's kind of like, grumbling something as you guys sort of all approach. Sanguinary, yes, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, now that we seem to be getting into the light, that's fine. I was gonna say, like, if we had like another round of running here, I was actually gonna stop and try to fire at it with my hunting rifle to help
Understood.
them.
No, you managed to kind of get there, kind of with the Jaboka. You hear the Wookiee sort of grunting, and the High Priest actually steps forward and starts making some like large gestures and like growls. And the creature seems to like hiss and sort of recoil and is no longer chasing up. So Kyra, Doom, and Sanguinary, you make it back to the other side of this massive natural cavern. Doom, you have this amulet on you. The priestess is like looking at it very intensely. The High Priest begins sort of growling and making all these moans, and also kind of like walking up to you and Mrs. 3 is saying, they're saying a lot of things. They're asking if you are all right, and they are. And kind of Kyra, he's like taking the lightsaber back unless you fight him or anything.
I wanted to keep that.
He looks at you like with total confusion.
Wait, I'm gonna hand it to Doom.
You're handing Doom the lightsaber instead?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, we talked with her spirit, her ghost.
The High Priest is like shaking his head, sort of like it seems like this is like a big deal, but he's glad you're all okay.
Okay, yeah. We are not. I assume you figure we talk with her ghost. How are they referring to her? The lady?
The goddess.
The goddess.
Yes.
We talked to the ghost. We talked to the goddess.
This other one with the staff, she kind of grumbles herself, and Mrs. 3 says, "Oh, this is very impressive." The High Priest is kind of looking at all of you, and then he says, he just sort of snarls, and Mrs. 3 translates, and he says, "Which ones are you?"
We are the ones that originally came.
he now like very strongly is trying to take the lightsaber from you while still he takes the lightsaber.
I know better than to wrestle with a Wookiee.
And he grabs it kind of like intensely, and now he's like gesturing for all of you to kneel as he brandishes it up. Well, not sanguinary, but he kind of remembers sanguinary, but you and Doom and Kyra, he's saying you two need to kneel.
I'm gonna show
I'll
him
kneel.
my burn.
And he gestures and Mrs. 3 translates and says, "No, that is on the right shoulder, which means it represents the ancient spirit inside of you. It is not customary for living creatures to get it. Everyone else has the left shoulder, so you will need one for you, retroactively." And he kind of, actually, the word retroactively comes a second later after another growl as he's explaining.
Yeah, I'll kneel down.
Okay.
But haven't we been graced by the goddess herself? So do we really need to be burnt?
He puts it on Doom. Noticing the amulet, kind of, he practically leaves it there like a second too long, Doom. You're getting a little extra. Go ahead and make another endurance roll for me as he kind of does this.
Yeah, 55. Yeah, success.
And you manage to it's intense, but you manage to sort of stay afloat. But you make that argument, Kyra. Go ahead and make a persuade roll. Or if you'd rather, you could try a different mental talent if you think that's more appropriate for how you're approaching it.
Intimidate!
You know what? You can roll an intimidate. It's a little harder to intimidate a Wookiee, but go for it, because I know you're very good at that.
Regular success.
Regular success.
Yeah, I'm not getting good rolls.
He just shouts, and he's like, no, he's make a psychology roll, though, for me.
Ooh, 4. That is a vital.
With a vital success, you sort of see into this Wookiee, and you sort of understand that he's so overcome by the fact that this has happened, he's kind of clinging to ceremony to some extent. He just really needs to he's worried that the goddess will be mad that he allowed spirits to arrive there who were not the spirits he sort of sent, who had been branded properly. So he's just very worried. He just wants to make sure this is all copacetic and wants to brand you on the other shoulder.
Don't worry, friend. We talked to her. She would not be angry if we do not follow these rules any longer. It's time for a new rule.
Make it deceive.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Ooh.
You're not bad at those.
I'm gonna re-roll that.
All right. Spend 1 force point.
Spending another one.
All right.
It was the same number.
Spend 2 force points.
Success.
All right. So a regular success.
It is a... Hold on. No. It is not a vital, but
It's under 14?
No, it's under 35.
Under 35 means a hard. Very good. All right.
Hard,
So he
yes.
will, and he only rolls a regular success. It's sort of like seeing through this. So he turns off the saber and just kind of looks at you, astonished that the goddess has sort of said the rules.
Yeah.
So,
He starts growling
So, Doom,
again, and Mrs. 3 asks, he wants to know if she seems happy with your conversation.
Yes, she seemed to be more intrigued than happy, and aided us on our journey.
This woman, this priestess, this female Wookiee, she kind of nods very sort of sagely at that. You've honestly, by saying like sort of kind of intrigued or whatever, that actually really seemed to track to her, and she's knowledge. And she kind of says in this very hard to hear do any of you speak Wookiee, by the way? Do any of you speak Shirwook? Okay, so kind of she says in this rasping thing, and Mrs. 3 listens for a moment and tries to understand, and kind of then translates. It seems like this woman maybe is harder to understand. Mrs. 3 says, she says that makes sense. After all, she says, in the dark side, all things are possible. And then she hits a button, and you see, in an eerie glow, it almost seems like it's almost terrifying in the moment. In the hanging sort of cage at the top of her staff is a blue, crackling, ancient hollow recording of the living woman whose specter you just saw, who says, in the dark side, all things are possible. And Doom, in your mind, you hear, oh, so young.
just think, oh, okay, that makes sense.
So Doom, are you planning to lead them?
So, yeah, I will. I'll look at the two priests there and say, so the goddess gave us again, like Kyra said, she gave us direction and guidance on our journey. What's the name of the planet again?
Sheelit.
Yeah, she told us to go to this planet, Sheelit. She said that you are welcome to. I'm welcome to lead you there if you wish, but you are not required to go.
Also, we need that. And I'm pointing at the holocron.
It's not a holocron.
Oh,
it's a hologram.
It's just like a holo projector.
hologram.
It's not the true holocron. It's like a little. It's like a. It's like a really like an iPad Mini that has or like a. It's like got a couple of little things. She plays a few.
One in a holocron.
It's not the holocron. Yes, unfortunately. He sort of looks at you and says, like, the goddess wants us to go to. Mrs. Three's trying to translate. The goddess wants you to go to Cheelit with him, with you. You are to lead them as is her will.
If any of your number wish to go, we do not have the capacity to take all of you. But if you have your own, we could perhaps take one or two of your most pious warriors.
The priestess at once begins sort of growling, and he's like snarling back at her. And Mrs. Three just kind of quietly says, "She's saying that she must be the one to go, and he is saying she is too vital here, and she is talking about his age and his ability to make judgments."
Perhaps both leaders should stay, since I'm saying all this to Doom. Perhaps both leaders should stay.
Yeah, your people will need you.
And we just take merely some soldiers. If you wish,
he kind of
since
turns
they
back
are
and
yours
says,
to command.
He basically says, "We have no soldiers. We are sort of peaceful, religious, you know."
Yes. So, but I mean, who are like?
They're these Wookiees, you see. They're just peaceful, like religious, pilgrims. They're not going to be good in a fight.
The one among you that has the most inquiring and keen mind.
And the priestess is like insisting that this is her.
What about your hunters? Do you have any hunters?
You actually at this. You know what? You guys were the ones who did this, so he'll sort of mention, kind of confused about who was where. How you guys literally brought them meat.
Right.
Oh.
So they seem to be living a much more,
I don't think we can rely on them for any sort of martial prowess of any kind. I imagine they'll defend themselves.
Sanguinary, go ahead, Sanguinary, and make a culture check on that.
Sure. Failure, not a bad one, but a failure.
Yeah, you're kind of just taking them at their word. Hey, if the Wookiees say they wouldn't be good in a fight, they wouldn't be good in a fight.
Although, we could perhaps take this priestess, but we also do, in theory, still have Adelard.
We do, yeah.
A great deal of knowledge. So
then perhaps we will bring back the knowledge too that we uncover there.
The high priest sort of starts saying this, and he starts asking you all sorts of questions about this amulet. Can they leave it here? Do you need it for your trip? Miss Three's quickly.
The amulet?
Yeah.
I'm like, it is a boon that the goddess gave to me that I cannot remove from my body now.
He kind of comes and
I assume that's what's happening, right? It's like yeah,
claws in you. Yeah. He kind of like prods it with his sharp claw of his own, just kind of.
Ow! It's a little tender. Sorry.
He apologizes, but if you have succeeded already, a little pain in the pursuit of your journey is nothing. Is what Mrs. Three's just telling you.
Yeah.
Philip, I just have a side question, no real importance to it whatsoever.
Please.
How much value, monetarily, do you think Darth Perverse's lightsaber would run with, say, just like a general store person who has a Beskar Jaboka, just hypothetically?
ancient Sith saber would certainly be very valuable.
Doom, perhaps for various reasons, it might be useful to have that saber if you're comfortable, and if they're willing to give it up without any sort of fight.
Yeah, I look at the chief and I'll say, the goddess would have us take her weapon with us. And I'm just gonna hold my hand back out.
All right. He sort of thinks for a moment about that, kind of very confused. Go ahead and make a deceive roll.
Oh boy, that's not good. But then here's what I'm kind of like. I'm gonna follow this up. Then I'm going to say, she is inside of me. I am now some form of vessel for her.
Since when?
You hear a voice in your head say, "That's the ticket, all right. But just so you know, I don't think that's my lightsaber."
Sorry, what? I couldn't hear that.
She says, "That's not my lightsaber."
Oh, well, I haven't. Nothing I said was a lie.
Yeah.
Right.
He, with that though, he will hand it to you. He hands you the saber.
I will kind of bow my head respectfully.
She says,
I'll just kind of.
"My saber's still in my sarcophagus if you really think you need it." If you
Why
really
didn't we
want to
take
go
the
there.
armor out of the sarcophagus?
Well, I'll clip this one on my side.
Okay.
You're the only one who knows that knowledge, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, do you know how much, Pierce? Beth, do you know how much I'm going to be running back for this? None. With 19 luck and no force points.
Well.
I will, and also, yeah. So I'll say thank you. And I'll just think. I'll think. I'm going to think to her. I mean, maybe if you want to go back and force grab it for me, if we can take it. But I'm not going back there.
You don't need me for that.
Wait, can you make? I'm gonna think. Can you make those like skeleton things bring it to us?
Walk into the darkness.
Are you sure about this?
No reply.
Okay. I'm gonna look at everyone else. I'm gonna say, okay, I need you to trust me for a second, everyone. Remember, I'm doing this because we're a family.
Mm-hmm.
I trust you implicitly, Doom.
I'm gonna turn around and walk into the darkness.
Is he out of earshot?
He basically walks into the dark about 10 meters in. You can still see the blue behind you. You have a lightsaber in hand. You do this. You get to the dark. Yeah, I will say he's out of. You could certainly quietly say something. The Wookiees are just like, the priestess is really curious, kind of, and now you're in this blue glow. The high priest is just very worried. Yes, Sanguinary and Kyra, you can quietly speak if you'd like.
Sanguinary, I'm not going to trust him fully anymore. He said he has a Sith residing inside of him. That makes 2 more creatures inside of him.
Yes, although this one seems decidedly more useful. Not that I don't like Boz, but it's possible we're getting what we wish for, what I bargained for, or proposed anyway. But yes. We should just keep an eye on Doom, and if he starts to behave unlike himself, if he starts to think of himself instead of the family, it's going to be a pretty strong clue that something's
Very
amiss.
much. All right, we'll keep an eye on him.
Yes, but that's wise, Kyra.
Doom, after you are fully ensconced in the dark, nothing behind you with Feel them.
What's that? Sorry. Okay.
Feel them.
I'll try. I guess I think I have a baseline for this because like I have my tendrils.
Yeah, you do. You have even felt them. So tell you what, you're getting a bonus on this roll. Good point. But the actual roll you'll be making for this is a search your feelings. So make a search your feelings with 1 bonus.
Oh man, double 13s. I'm such a hard success. I am so sad this is not Friday night.
With a hard success, Doom, as you reach out. You're used to sensing more than other beings, but this is unlike anything else. It's as if your tendrils are connecting to every atom in your range, every bit of life. You can feel that creature skulking in the dark. Large, lizard-like thing. And beyond it, you feel death. You can feel them all there. And yet, though they're dead, you have this odd sensation that they're not dead to you. You hear the voice in your head. It almost startles you, but by now you're getting used to it say, "Good. Good. Now, speak to them, not with your voice, but with the Force. Speak to them through the dark side. I know the odds are not great, but you need to make a clairvoyance roll.
While this is happening, if I can do something concurrently, I'll let it play out, but I want to do something sort of while this is going on.
You sort of reach out,
55, so just a regular failure.
and she just kind of says, "A pity. But perhaps with the right teacher, you'll get there. Now hurry back before something eats you."
I'm like not even close to the sarcophagus, right?
No, you went like 20 meters in.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
a
No,
few hundred
I'll go
meters.
back to the light then. I guess
You
for that. Yeah.
Just kind of go back to the light. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that. I wanted to try something that just kind of popped into my mind. Didn't work, but now we know. Great.
Okay.
Yeah. I will. Yeah. Yeah. I think we should head out of here before that big lizard thing comes back and eats us.
Fair.
They sort of agree, and at this point, they will lead you up this long sort of. Sorry. Although, wait, you said you wanted to do something while that was going on. I'm sorry, Sanguine.
It can wait. Actually,
Okay.
I'll do it on the drive back.
In that case, as you guys sort of walk up, it's a long up sort of hill up the stairs, walk through all these twisting passages
well then-
below.
Then I'll do that while
Okay.
while we're walking up, and I'll say with Doom and Kyra here. I can sort of Doom, I noticed you were running the sonar recorder, but I think it's maybe best that they don't know exactly what happened and what transpired and offers I made or things like that. So I'm thinking maybe we delete that and summarize.
Yes, I think that's a smart idea. I just wanted to,
It was very smart thinking, too.
yeah, I just wanted to make sure that we had that just in case, but yeah, yes.
Kyra, do you agree?
I agree.
Okay.
I don't
So
think
I'll-
they need to know everything.
So I'll delete that recording. And then I'm going to, what I will say to them, I'll record. Spoke with the ghost of Darth Perverse. She guided us to a planet where we might find her teacher. Which, Philip, what's the name of the planet again?
Cheelit.
Cheelit. Cheelit. It's in the Mid-Rim in Republic territory. Also, she gave us an amulet that should sort of put us in better standing with her teacher. Something that might lend credence to our claims. it seems that her teacher will be very interested in helping us, as she might find this situation fascinating. Doom was the one granted the amulet, and so we think it's best for Doom to continue to wear it. Our plan is to proceed as quickly as we can to that planet. And I'll end the recording there.
Very good. You guys make it back up to sort of a more fully built sort of temple here in the stone. Various Wookiees mill around. Sort of the priestess and high priest are once again having a detailed conversation. You guys can actually see the large passage leading out into the snow. It's probably getting pretty dark at this point. It's probably like on to night, given how long walks down.
Like, so based on how long it took to get her, would I think it's not safe to drive back at this point?
Doom, I'm gonna be honest. Like, you know, for you, what's not safe? It certainly is it's certainly dark. So you know, one might want to.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Well, look, I
But does the speeder not have lights?
Doom knows what he's doing.
all right, fine. Let's we got to shimmy back into town before it gets fully night.
Yeah. All right, let's get back.
So you
Is
watch-
Adelard up here?
Oh right, yeah. Where the hell is Adelard?
Oh, they sort of gesture, and you find that in a vestibule towards the front, being guarded by a Wookiee who's kind of sees you and finishes eating some meat real quick and just kind of sort of stands. You see Adelard lying, unconscious, almost catatonic.
Did
what happened? What
something happen?
The high priest starts crying, and actually Mrs. 3 can even... Oh, yes, Master Adelard fell over shortly after you all apparently switched souls, which is something that I didn't realize organics could do.
It's a unique situation, Mrs. 3. We should get Adelard back to Mrs. 1 as soon as possible.
I agree. Does anyone have any medical skills to make sure he's okay?
I did actually mention that. Doom, yeah?
Can I try and like reach out and like see if I can sense anything? Like,
Sure. Yeah, make a, if you want to sense, or you want to sense his presence.
I guess would it be a search of feelings or clairvoyant? I'm trying to use force now.
Go ahead, if you want to communicate with him, that's more going to be clairvoyance. Otherwise, just search your feelings would be kind of like,
I'll
is
start
he
with a search
okay?
of feelings.
Do a search
Yeah.
of feelings. I think it's more that, yeah.
33. That's a success, baby.
You reach out and you can feel. It's interesting. You reach out. You can feel both Adelard and another presence in that body, but both are dormant, adrift, confused, absent.
Can I-
now.
Can I try using that and like talking to either one? I'm gonna try to talk to both of them. See if
Make
I
a
can read either one.
clairvoyance roll. That's fine. Sure.
7. That's a 7. That's a success.
Ooh.
You sort of reach out. This is a very important luck roll. Hold on. Spending a force point on that as well. Come on. Yes. You reach out. And suddenly you feel a consciousness. A consciousness that reaches back towards you and says, "Are you there? One of you, please. Are you all right? Can you hear me? Are you there?"
I'm immediately gonna pull back because I'm shocked.
The voice in your head will say, "Who was that?"
A really creepy guy named Lord Wraith, who I think is like kind of like an immortal being who keeps on assuming the mantle of his heir, but really it's the same guy who is over and over doing weird stuff. I don't know who he is or where he comes from, but we started off with him a while ago. By a while ago, I mean an indeterminate amount of time ago. That's probably like a couple days.
3 days. It's like hasn't been like it's like been like 3 rotations.
Right.
Doom, there's a very interesting sensation you suddenly experience. Takes you almost a moment. To realize that what you're hearing is the wild, maniacal laughter of a dead Sith lady in your mind. And then one word before she drifts away. Perfect. Perfect.
So getting Adelard back to our medical droid? Yes.
The rest of it, they have no idea anymore.
You're just like staring up
Dude
and
just
like
stares a lot now.
Yeah. Let's,
Dude, you good?
yeah. We need you
I
to
think
drive,
that happened in
man.
the course of like a couple, like 6 seconds or like 10 seconds or whatever.
No, it happened in real time. You were probably staring.
Oh,
for like a
okay,
minute.
right, yeah, okay.
Just
Yeah.
staring.
Yeah.
Oh,
You all right? You're
Yeah.
the best operator of this vehicle.
Yeah, I'll be good. Yeah, let's get
right.
him out of here.
I'll pick
so
up.
It seems the priestess and the priest are still arguing. She still really wants to come with you, but, you know, she seems to be. You guys haven't really spoken with her at all, but there seems to be some.
No, I'll go up to the priestess before we leave, and I'll say, look, if there's one thing that I know that's led me to this point and will keep me going further, it's that
She's just.
you gotta
staring
look
at
out. You gotta look out for your family. And these people, everyone, and I kind of gesture around to like the rest of the tribe. This kind of, they're your family. And so you need to look out for them.
Make a family roll. Invoke family. If this
That's
was
not success.
If this was D&D, that would be the spell you've learned, which is invoke
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
Wow. She will not come. She is agreed. She nods. She seems disappointed, but she understands what you're saying. She kind of shuffles back with the others. The high priest kind of mutters some more, and Mrs. 3 says, he simply is hoping that you will return soon with information.
I'll shoulder Adelard and get him into the speeder.
Yeah.
Great.
Then let's drive off.
So, with that, Doom, you get back behind the controls of this spirit. Or of the spirit. The spirit's not. You're not at controls of any spirit. Sorry, of the. You get at the controls of your speeder. Go ahead and make a land speeder roll.
That's an 18, which is a hard success.
Very good. So, and though it is kind of like hard to drive, sort of at night and all of this stuff, and Mrs. 3 makes many nervous noises. Go ahead, Sanguinary.
I was just going to ask if my hunting rifle has sort of like a night scope, so that could help at least guide.
Oh, kind of to do some spotting.
To spot it, and like in case we're gonna run into anything that he might not see in the distance.
Sure. Why don't you make a look roll in that case?
Okay.
Which would be capable because it probably would have like a scope like that.
I mean, that's fine. That is a success. Just a regular success.
You sort of spot a few things, but like he's already sort of just
Yeah.
It's like he was already a very good intuitive pilot.
Yeah,
But
I
now
think-
it's become,
I think he may have this. I'll just sort of tend to Adelard.
I cannot
On the
believe
way-
you put on this amulet. Oh my god, Pierce. Shocked me. shocked me.
I,
Sorry. Yes,
I'm shocked
continue.
as well. I'm so shocked at myself as well.
On the way down, I'm gonna be like, okay, so the reason I was being kind of weird and cagey down there was, I got the sense when I looked at that lightsaber that it's not actually her lightsaber, right? But like, and that her lightsaber was back in the sarcophagus. But I also didn't want to tell like a bunch of like religious zealot Wookiees, like, hey, you got the wrong lightsaber. That would have been like weird, you know?
Also, let's not tell Mrs. Goddard that information. She might let us have a few extra things.
Yeah, maybe we can claim it is that lightsaber. I would really like that Jaboka.
Let's see if she'll do a 1-for-1 trade, sure, but otherwise we should probably keep the lightsaber.
Oh, you do still need to get your clothes as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say we might be able to offer it up for the clothes and the Zaboka because it is an ancient Sith Lord's lightsaber. It's kind of worth more than Beskar, in my opinion. So
But
that
I
would
mean,
that would be my hope as well.
yeah.
we
Well,
can find you another lightsaber.
I mean, I don't. I'm just saying.
Aren't you supposed to like build one? Isn't that part of the whole training?
Yeah.
Anyway? So like,
I'm not. I don't know what you're. I have no idea. This is not what. I just did this to help
wait, do you
out.
want the lightsaber?
No, I'm just saying. Like I don't know if it might come in useful. I have no idea. But I'm just saying this is. I just wanted to let you know this is not the actual lightsaber.
Oh, I understand.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll find out if
Right.
Mrs.
Yeah,
Goddard knows that.
I think we should, pursue this line of thought. I mean, lightsabers are pretty cool, but
Yes.
yeah.
A little more common right now, though, if it's not an
Yeah.
ancient artifact.
Right? Yeah, precisely.
You all arrive back at the station.
Just like Luke's farm, just smoldering corpses.
What? It would just be droids. She was the only one there. They. You can tell though. Like your ship is sort of dark. And there's like many tarps spread sort of over it. Looks like some construction was in process that has stopped for the evening, and it's sort of dark and snowing. But you sort of park, and Mrs. Goddard kind of comes up and goes, "Whoa! I expected you guys back way earlier, but let me heat up some food for you here. Are you going to stay the night, or are you going to sleep on your ship? Because I got rooms. Mrs. Goddard's got it. I do got rooms.
I'm
food?
happy to sleep. I'm happy to sleep in a room.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
we don't ever have like.
Yeah.
We don't really have any
built
compartments.
for, like, sleeping, yeah.
I know. I was gonna say it's pretty limited. The droids are gonna be more comfortable with you by the time we're finished with the charge reports. All right, so she kind of just leads you in and leads you to some rooms. We won't get into the specific prices, but she's willing to make some deals, and you get some relatively comfortable chambers with refreshers and such things. But she does sort of see Adelard and go, "Oh, what happened to him?"
Uncertain. We're
Too
hoping.
much alcohol.
Well, we were hoping Mrs. One could take a look.
Hey, she's your droid. And Mrs. 1 kind of, and Mrs. 3 says, "Hi, honeys, I'm home." And the other droids go, "Beep, beep, 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 beep. Hello." Mrs. 4's like protection. And so Mrs. 1 will kind of, roll over and start analyzing Adelard.
Mrs.
I
Got it.
detect no alcohol on this organic. Are you sure that this organic is drunk?
It might be the case. It's the only explanation for passing out, right? No trauma or anything?
Ooh, Mrs. 1 rolls a 1. Mrs. 1 says, "No, he is in a state of limited brain activity. His body
A
is
coma?
functioning perfectly. Correct.
But he's
Do you mind monitoring him overnight?
Of course. One moment." She kind of just turns to Mrs. 5. "I'm sorry, but our date night will have to wait." And Mrs. 5 says, "Beep, beep, 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 beep." And Mrs. 3 kind of goes, wait. Mrs. 2 goes, "Beep, beep, beep, beep." And Mrs. 5's like, "Beep, beep, 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 beep." Mrs. 4 kind of just separates them with, whatever.
Mrs. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just sort of. We did acquire something that we maybe want you to take a look at and see if it's of any value for some of the outstanding items we were hoping to gather from you.
Oh. Oh. Whoa. These are. Ooh.
We got this from the Wookiees.
They gave you this?
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Ooh, big shots. Whoa, now that, she kind of points to whatever's on Doom. That looks like some nice... I haven't seen that before. That looks
That's
really
not for sale.
And that's unfortunately that's we kind of need that.
We're bringing that to someone.
This is a good, yeah, it's a good sort of standard issue Sith Saber.
Oh, but that's from
Oh,
June.
they told us that was the weapon of their goddess.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, their goddess used a lightsaber. Did they think this was hers? No, this is probably 40 years old.
No.
So like,
Because it's just... so not going to help me get the Chiboka then.
Oh, oh, I see. No, this is, I mean, it's worth something if you want to sell it to me, sure. Trade in, I could do a bit, you know, I could give you a bit of cash back or whatever, I suppose, but it's not, this is maybe, you know, this will maybe sell for like 2,500 credits or so, my trade-in value for this would be, you know, 1,250.
I suppose we should maybe just keep it, dude.
yeah, well, hold on.
Don't cut anything off. Mind the tendrils and the Leku.
Try my best.
Yeah.
Also, I'm a little, just sort of like whispering to Doom, I'll say, also I'm a little concerned about what might happen if the Wookiees come to town to get supplies and find that lightsaber in her inventory.
I was thinking the same thing, yeah. I am shockingly exhausted after all of that.
Oh, really? You're tuckered after our experiences with running from a monster and a ghost?
Yeah, and also like having this thing like graft itself to my body, so like yeah.
Yes. I've also got several new burn wounds.
Yeah.
Sucks to be you. I'm gonna go try on some new clothes.
She'll say, "Oh yeah, I'm kind of in the middle of. Actually, this will be great. I can do some fittings on you." And she'll just kind of start, you know, bringing over some stuff and sort of show you the. So here's this one. You know, she kind of shows you some stuff, and it all looks like very fine. You know, it's all like perfectly suitable. You'd even wear it to an event. It's fine. Nothing's gonna be like boo, because this is an outpost in the middle of nowhere. But she's just kind of giving you very passable. It's like
H&M
stage show, just like just like she can make you pretty much anything and it'll be fine. But it's like
Okay.
It's some
Forever 21.
it's some homemade Halloween costume stuff by someone whose mom is pretty good. But
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it does seem that Mrs. Five has been sort of helping her just like hold bolts of fabric and stuff, and she's like, yeah, exactly, yeah. So, but she'll sort of say, yeah, and we'll be able to finish up your shipments, yeah, tomorrow. Shouldn't be a problem. I would just stop for the night, you know, and I had to make some clothes and also organize some shipments and things, but it's all good. She's just moving around, and all her other droids are also sort of doing stuff. Yeah.
How long do you think the adjustments to our ship? How much time do you think is remaining on that?
Should probably get you out of here tomorrow or the day after.
All right. Thank you. And I will pick up the center recorder and hit recording. Our ship is having some alterations made to accommodate the droids I mentioned in our last recording. It seems like we may be able to depart within one rotation, possibly two. But I would advise we wait until those adjustments are made before we leave.
She kind of chuckles as you do that and goes, well, yeah, you can't leave. Your ship has a hole in it. So if you guys are going to just kind of wait for the evening.
I would like to get like a writing utensil.
Okay. Go ahead.
And like at night, like, this is something I would do like before I go to sleep at night when no one's around.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna write like on the inside of my arm. I forgot what's the other dude's name.
I'm not gonna tell you.
I can say Guy dash. Be careful.
Make a willpower roll.
That's a 97.
97.
My willpower is a 50.
Your willpower is exactly a 50.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not a fumble, but it's a failure. In that case, we'll simply say we won't go full on. We won't go full on shining with it. But you try to write Guy, be careful, but you just write something in Sith that you don't understand.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
I'll roll up my sleeves and see that my arms are completely tattooed and have no real estate to write anything on.
I would like to pull Sanguinary aside without Doom around.
Okay.
So he's off journaling. I'm relaxing, eating, and drinking.
How far do we let Doom go with this Sith relic?
Well, here's the thing, right? If there's a Sith inside of him, does that mean he can use the Force now?
That's what I've
If
been
that-
wondering.
Because if that's true, then we don't need those Sith back on that planet.
If
And maybe
it's
we can just get rid of these ghosts ourselves and just try to
possible.
disappear.
I've seen relics do things, or at least I've heard stories of it, but I'm not sure how many of them are true.
What kind of things?
They're just. Can I roll a culture roll?
You can roll a lore roll.
Ooh,
Probably
Oh,
not as
that
good
is
for you, but
not
this
as
is-
good. I just understand Sith.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't remember any details, but being around Sith, I've heard some interesting things.
No, I've heard them. I know I've heard
Well,
them.
yes.
I know I've
Um,
heard something.
Yes. We've all heard stories around the Sith and Jedi. Hard to know what of it is true, though, right?
This is true. And
Although it is starting to seem like more than not, given our
More
recent, given our recent experiences.
The other thing is, I want to know how much will we let the droids know about our predicament? Are we going to let them know everything, or should we keep them in the dark? Because I
Well-
don't know who to trust.
Well, it does seem that Mrs. 3 knows at least our general situation. And I assume she's going to know a great many things as long as we are bringing her around and translating. But she doesn't know everything that happened in there, and in that tomb. And I have, until we have a better grasp over the circumstances of our whatever sort of ritual we're going to have to do, I would say that we keep this as close to our party as possible.
No problem. I'm going to leave him and write in small on my wrist. This is only for you. Don't tell the others. Watch Doom.
And her response will be, "Who is Doom?"
And by myself, I'll
Yeah.
simply enjoy the food and drink that was prepared for us.
Wonderful. So Adelard, catatonic, Doom, trying to write, Kyra writing, you having a room to write on your arms. We'll sort of. I'm actually not going to. I'm gonna get you guys. I'm just gonna basically get you guys off this planet because it seems there
Okay.
won't be any further
Yeah.
things here. But one thing does happen this night. Kyra, it's about hour and a no, that's not true. It's about 4.5 hours after you've gotten back to the station, so you might be asleep at this point. You receive, bing, a message.
All right, let's hear it.
On your comm. It is from Psalm 34. Every time I say Psalm 34, for the record, I think I'm saying Psalm 34. but Psalm 34
What's the good word, Psalm?
contacts you and says, Madam Kyra, I do hope you're okay in getting a sufficient number of steps. Lord Ryth came to me earlier tonight, again in an extreme state of agitation. He seemed, though not quite as bedraggled as he was the previous occasion, just as feral and concerned. He asked me if I would get a message to you. I told him I have not been in communication with you. After a few moments, he accepted this explanation and said if I'm able to, could he at least record a message that I might send your way, just in case. he's been so kind, and he really has been so diligent in getting a lot of steps in that I felt I had to agree. So, he has recorded a message which I am now transmitting to you. I do hope you're well, and I just think, planking for a few minutes every now and again would be a wonderful idea. A message now plays. Good evening. I am confused by your rapid departure from my blessed constellation. Though I understand that it is possible only one half of your group made such a sudden and reckless decision. You are all in terrible danger beyond simply the Sith. I urge you to return. I have uncovered new details of the past. Ancient entities who utilize the dark side of the Force are preying on you now. You will be safe at my ship. I have moved my location to these coordinates, and I will continue, hopefully, trying to find you. It is important that you not fall into the wrong hands. Be safe, be smart, and do not trust the dark side of the Force. End message.
Can I roll a psychology roll to see how much I can trust him?
Of course. Let me just gather all the bonuses he gets to.
Oh, Lord.
What do you got?
I rolled a 3.
A 3?
A 3. All of these rolls that have been absolutely terrible, and somehow I rolled a 3.
So for your psychology, I believe that is a vital success, right?
That is a vital success.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, so, with a 3. Obviously, he's not telling you everything. The plain lie that you now hear from what he said is, I've uncovered new information. You're like, no. You knew what was going on. You were lying to us before. The concern for you feels genuine, and the opposition to the dark side, perhaps to your surprise, feels entirely genuine.
Okay.
He is very worried about you guys getting pulled into some Sith bad shit, because it's an anagram. So, that is what you learned.
Okay. Should I be getting up at this time and waking up the others so we can leave?
It's still a few hours before you leave, so you'll have to try to sleep on that information. Doom, we'll go into this in more detail another time. Your dreams are bad.
like nightmares are like just real fucked up.
Let's just say it's a little sprinkle of all of that. It's
Right,
some
cool.
nightmares, it's some fucked up stuff, it's some fucked up nightmares. It's a lot of like waking up in a cold sweat and hearing like a laughter, feeling like somebody's like rubbing your face very like lovingly, and then you're like, ah, and you wake up alone.
You feel like Obi-Wan watching the security cam footage of Anakin visiting the younglings.
Oh, since I'm already awake, can I study something?
Sure.
Let's go for cultural studies. Actually, what did I have? Lore. I'm gonna study lore. In general.
Pull out a Joseph Campbell book.
Yes.
Got the holonet, got a Hero's Journey Part 4. Go ahead and make a lore roll then.
Oh, no.
Unless you just kind of do a bit of studying. That's fine.
98.
And Kyra, you break your data pad. You're like,
I
let's
pull it out,
see.
it flies.
Are you below? What is your lore? It's under 20. Oh yeah. So basically, yeah. Kyra, so you pull this out and you're like, okay, cool. Let's go to lore. Let's see if there's a lore site. I won't get too specific about it, but basically, there are some terms among some sentients for certain acts between consenting adults that you didn't realize were search terms. You type these in, before you know it, there are so many pop-up holograms, all of which are horrifying, and then your data pad just like fizzles and smokes out, and you're like,
There's a lot of aliens that have tentacles, I'll just say that.
oh my God, it's that, you didn't realize what this meant in a Quarren context, basically. Yeah, exactly.
Part of me wants to believe you found yourself on a fanfic site and now have all these stories that are apparently ancient lore. Philip,
Yo.
my goal is to get as good a night of sleep as possible and see if that improves my resilience.
Okay.
That's my plan.
Understood. Yeah, you can sleep, no problem. That will reset you to the baseline. I think we'll actually go ahead and because there's really no surprises waiting here other than the cool stuff you're carrying with you. So we will skip to Doom. Are you going to assist in the repairs?
Yeah, I will.
So go ahead and please make a repair general roll. Are you specifically proficient in weapon repair?
Blaster repair?
Blaster repair. Got it. I think the other one. I think the one in Kyra's body is like specifically a weapons expert or something. So, but in any case, so just make a general repair because these are not blasters. These are like cannons.
Wow. I rolled a 50.
Okay.
I rolled a 50 and a 100, so I will take the 50.
Yes, and that is actually a good point where a bonus does not make you take the lower, and because technically the lower roll was since it's the higher, even though the lower die is the 0/0, you don't have to take it because it would make it a 100.
Right. Yeah.
It's a shame you didn't roll literally anything else on that thing because then it would have been under 10. Okay, great. So I will now roll for Mrs. Got it. So you have a success, so we'll say it's kind of all just going normal pace. Roll for Mrs. Got it. I got her right here. Oh yeah, great. So basically you guys are able to leave this day. Kyra, do you send any message back? Do you share what that message with anybody? Or are you kind of keeping that close to the vest for now?
I'm going to keep it close to the vest because I'm not quite trusting Doom.
Close to the newly acquired adorned
speaking
vest.
of which,
Yes!
you are given a very nice kind of like it's only one piece, but it can fit in a few functions. And honestly, everything you had with you, like that thing that's more for snow weather, you can use you could pair the pants with the shirt. You got. It's a bit of a capsule wardrobe going on. You'll be fine. Here's a question though about that message. Are you going to leave that just on your comm for anyone to find? I'll give you a bit of a hint and say that your counterpart is so bad at computers that if you want to try to encrypt it, you could do that, and then she couldn't stumble upon it unless she beat the encryption, which she literally couldn't. Or you can just delete it entirely if you don't want to sort of leave it to the thing, or you can just leave it on there for them to listen to.
I will leave it on there because I'm terrible at computers as well, but I don't want to delete it just in case I need it later. So if they stumble upon it, that'll be fine.
Understood.
But for now, I'm just gonna act like it doesn't exist and see where we're going.
Understood. So in that case, you all are put aboard the ship. Mrs. One kind of is still monitoring Adelard. She actually shares. This is a very interesting situation. His brain function has periods of normal activity, keeping the body in better shape than is typical for a coma.
I hope that doesn't happen to the rest of us.
Well, we are in a unique situation. Let's just
Yeah,
hope.
weird stuff going on.
I'm also getting, indeed. She wouldn't have scanned the brain that much to realize that. So you guys get aboard. Who's going to take the controls, or is it your new astromech?
100% the new astromech.
Astromech.
Kind of, Mrs. Two's like, and she kind of goes on, and all the other droids, and they also, so yes, basically now the sort of like two of the gun turrets kind of in the center of the ship have been replaced by these multiple droid alcoves, and where there's like multiple charging ports, and you hear Mrs. 3 just bustling around talking about like sleep schedules and who gets to be where, and you know, what happens if anyone needs a night alone and this is so crowded, and you know, everyone's just complaining. It's your ship is so loud now.
We're doing, look, hey, you know what it means? We got a bigger family.
Oh boy.
Mrs. 3, none of us have any sort of intention of either piloting or co-piloting. So if there's someone that our astromech would like to have as their co-pilot from your family.
Oh. Well,
I don't think that would be a
are
problem.
adept co-pilots.
Oh, if there's someone
I
she
believe that
just
there
likes
will
to have
be-
the company.
Well, there will be interpersonal problems because some people really, really don't like the way she drives, and they will talk to her about it. But it's possible, yes.
I'd be willing to help out co-piloting. I mean, I like to learn at least, you know?
Of course.
Like, I add to my ability, my repertoire of navigating vehicles.
Whatever you wish to do, it's all fine. I'm just.
Can I?
Hmm?
Sorry, I was wondering if I could put coordinates in and save him on computer.
Sure.
That's okay. Without using a roll, or would that be
Which coordinates?
the coordinates from Saul? Without anyone knowing, just like save them on the
Those
side.
have been transmitted to your comm, so you could plug those into the nav computer and store them if you wanted.
Yeah.
If you sort of come up and begin doing that, the droid, Mrs. 2, just kind of like, you know, dome spins to you. Beep, 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 beep. Kind of a questioning tone.
Don't worry, this is for later in case we need it.
She kind of like moves a scomp around and as you input that, you sort of see on a display, she kind of bloop, 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 and puts it into like a saved thing.
Perfect.
And then she, you notice a sort of a cursor sort of hovers over the sort of word for like encrypted, and kind of gives you this. And then very quietly she beeps something at you. Beep, 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 beep. I want you to make a psychology roll to see if you just understood this in binary.
Yes, I did.
Okay. With a quick thing, whatever the tone was, it's something about like, you know, we've all got to keep secrets now and then, right? And then it seems like her little iris port just kind of like.
My psychology rolls are doing great today, guys. I should have just went psychology all the way around.
Exactly. It's like, this is really all I should be here for.
Just that's it.
I know what you really mean by that. Exactly. So, with that, you guys set off. Mrs. Goddard sort of says, well, this has been great. Come back anytime. That Jiboka, you know, I mean, if somebody wants to buy it, it's a hot commodity, but I'll try to, I'll at least, I can calm you if anybody's really looking, you know, depending on how far you are.
Yeah, I mean, if someone comes forward, let me know.
It's a
I
beauty.
would like to return for it.
I get it. Yeah, I get it. Well, good luck to y'all.
I will take a seat in like one of the back seats of the cockpit.
Sure. Mrs. 4 is kind of standing near you. She just kind of turns her sort of, you know, one of her shields. Just says, "You will be safe."
How long before we get to our destination?
Mrs. 3 says, "Oh, right. None of you speak binary, so I'm also the translator for some of my wives to my masters. Yes, I'm just here to always be in the middle of everything. Just
Don't worry, we
great
appreciate
mediator.
you.
Oh, well. Wait, you appreciate me? I'm so sorry. Is that something any of my wives have heard? Is that words any of you understand?" You hear a lot of like, etc.
Can I pull up like on my data pad since I'm just gonna be chilling in the cockpit? Can I pull up like binary Duolingo.
I was gonna do.
Yeah, binary is actually not the hardest language to pick up, in fact, so we'll sort of get that to the... Okay, perfect. So, Sanguinary and Kyra want to learn binary. So basically, at this point, you are going to Cheelit, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, your droid will make a quick attempt at charting a good course. Yeah, that's
I'm gonna borrow Doom's tablets. It's mine has some issues.
Yeah, I'm helping I'm helping Pilot, so yeah, you can.
You don't need to know what the issues are. There's just issues with it. Thank you.
Do you want me to try and fix it?
As long as you don't tell anyone what's on it.
Hey, look, I can be discreet.
Okay.
Whatever your proclivities are, I will not try to share a word.
All right, so Doom, go ahead and actually make a use computers check for me.
That's a 50, which is a regular success.
So with a
I was hoping you would fail.
a regular success. I mean, this is like this computer. Like, so basically, you get the computer sort of like you get the data pad functioning again, and it immediately starts playing some pretty intense stuff. And as you guys are like up in the atmosphere, the Mrs. 1 kind of just like, or Mrs. 2 sort of turns over to you and kind of goes, "Roo, roo."
Hey, look, no, this is a judgment-free family ship, okay? Look, I don't want to hear one more word of that. I don't know what you're saying. I don't want to hear one more word of that. Look, hey, that's between you and Mrs. 4. All right, I don't even know.
Well, we're not gonna. Whatever. We'll just do another open in hyperspace because I can't do anything else after that. That's all I need. But that'll be great. That's what we'll be playing in his hands.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm hoping for.
So he'll have a Sith amulet as he's looking.
Especially because he has tentacles too. It'll be like, what is this?
Oh, well, guys, listen, we have a lot of fun here, but I also just want to say that I really like droids. I like droids so much. Droids are just great. Well, that was an interesting session. A couple things happened. I may have to do a less detailed recap because you guys just did stuff the whole time. So major decisions were made. We got a Sith amulet into it, and it only took us 6 sessions of this game, 12 sessions total. Thanks everybody for watching. If you enjoy what we are doing here in the Star Wars game, this is like this 2 nights a week thing, so join us next Sunday for Luminous Beings if you want to see what happens immediately following this, and then if you want to see what this group gets up to after that, join us next Monday for the next Crude Matter. We also have on Tuesdays, we have our noir game, Gray in the Dark, and on Fridays, we have our horror game, Blood from a Stone. This week's going to be actually a very special one because based on stuff that happened last week, the idea of Session Live being really live-centric is taking on all new meaning. We are not at Rocket Base 95. We'll be back in Heistalies next week. It's going to be crazy. Thanks everybody for watching so much. Please go to our About page, follow all of our wonderful players. Their social stuff's all there. Join us on our Discord. We have really cool things going on there and conversations and recaps and such. I think that's all I've got. Anyone else need to say words or do things or
yeah, sure.
complain about imagery I've put in your minds?
As per my my goal with this, to have a Star Wars recommendation at the end of this, if all of your knowledge of the Force has come either from this show or from just the ideas of like Sith and Jedi, I would recommend, and I think you can do this without having watched anything else, Season 3 of Clone Wars. There is an episode titled Overlords. It's part of 3 episodes, Overlords, Altar of Mortis, and Ghost of Mortis, that introduce a different idea of the Force that I think is a little broader and a little more interesting, that may or may not have some sort of kind of more parallel with what I think Lord Reith has got going on. but we'll see.
I will not speak to that, but I will definitely say you should. That's a really good 3-episode arc to watch.
Made it
Maybe
episode.
just generally understand certain things. Well, goodness. On that note, thank you all so much for watching. This has been super fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this,
Yeah.
Both players and viewers. And until next time, we will end with those words. Well, first I'll end with these words: "The Force is with you, young Skywalker. But you're not a Jedi yet. Just don't come in here acting like you're a Jedi. You're not a Jedi." I always wanted Darth Vader, to be like, "Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father." It looks like, "He told me enough. He told me you killed him." And Darth Vader to be like, "What? Wait, what did he say? That's fucked up, man." He said, "I am your." Wait, what? I've been saying that the old me's dead. I get it, but he said I killed him. That's, dude. That guy's weird. Oh. Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan was always very grumpy. Anyway, on that note, good night. Thank you, and the Force will be with you always.